So I was recording the video on WhatsApp, but I don't know what happened. It just got cut. Okay, so you see 3x squared plus 2x minus 5 all over x plus 1 dx over dx. Now consider this as d 3x squared plus 2x minus 5 over dx open brackets x plus 1. Okay, so basically we would say the formula for this is, you would say this one, this down one times the derivative of this one minus this up one times the derivative of this one. Now let's find the derivative of the upper one, this side. Okay, now let's find the derivative of d. That is 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Finding the derivative of the first part. Now 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Usually a constant like this, any number that doesn't have x, the derivative is 0. Now for minus 5, d minus 5 is equal to d for minus 5 is equal to what? 0. So that's out. Now we find for 3x squared. We're supposed to start with 3x squared though. Okay, so let's find for 3x squared. Now the power here is what? 2. The power for this is 3x raised to power 2. So you say what? 3 times 2. This 2 that is here. Now you open a bracket and say x, this x. Then you say 2 minus 1. Now let us consider if you had what's it called? Let's say it was 4x raised to power 3. Now, so that you will understand it better, what you say here is 4 times 3, open brackets, x raised to power 3 minus 1, which would give you 12x. That's 4 times 3, 12. Now, x 3 minus 1 is what? 2. That's x raised to power 2. 12x raised to power 2 will be the derivative of 4x raised to power 3. Just for further explanation, this is not part of what we're doing. So this is 3 times 2, that's what? 6. X raised to power 2 minus 1 is what? 1. So x raised to power 1. X raised to power 1 is what? X. So 6x. So 6x. That's what? Our derivative for 3x squared. We're going to find it small. Then 2x. What is the derivative? Usually, where there is no raised to power, you should have in mind that there is 1 there. So we're saying that 2x is equal to 2x raised to power what? 1. So what will it be? So we will say 2 times what? 2 times this 1. 2 times 1, open brackets, you put your x, then you say 1 minus what? 1. It's always constant. 1 minus 1 is what? 0. So 2 times 1 is what? 2. 2 times x. 1 minus 1 is 0. And 2x, anything raised to power 0 is what? 1. So it will be what? So it will be what? 2 times 1. That's what? 2. Correct. Now, the first one we got was what? 6x. The second one we got was what? 2. So it will be 6x plus 2 as the derivative of the upper one. So d is equal to 6x plus 2. Now let's find dx. What I consider to call dx. Please do not use dx. I don't know what they used to use, but just have it in mind. This is our lower part. Now the derivative of x is, knowing fully well that there should be, as it is x, there's a positive integer 1 here, and there's a positive integer 1. That's 1 times x raised to power 1, which is x. So we just use it as 1 times 1, which is this 1 times this 1, open brackets, x raised to power what? This 1, you write it here, 1 minus 1. That's what? 1 times 1 is what? 1. Open brackets, x. 1 minus 1 is what? 0. And anything raised to power 0 is 1. So that's 1 times 1. Then you remember that all constants, anything that doesn't have x on it, is what? 0. So our answer here is what? 1. So dx is equal to 1. Now what do? We'll do the derivative, this lower one, or let's say this upper one now. Sorry. The lower one times the derivative of the upper one. Thank you. The lower one times the derivative of the upper one minus the upper one times the derivative of the lower one. Remember that the derivative of the upper one is 6x plus 2. So let's do it. So we're using this lower one to multiply the derivative of the upper one. So that is what? X plus 1 times 6x plus 2 minus, you use the upper one to multiply the derivative of the what? The lower one, which is 1. So we say 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Open bracket. Sorry for entering this side. Open bracket. 1. Close your entire bracket. All over. Now, the down part will be what? This side raised to power 2, which doesn't really matter because you're just writing it x plus 1 raised to power 2. Now, moving forward, we'll find this part first before we find this part. Now, let's do this part, which is what? X plus 1 times, open bracket, 6x plus 2. Now, we say x times 6x is what? 6x squared. X times 2. X times plus 2 is plus 2x. 1 times 6x is what? Plus 6x. 1 times 2 is plus 2. Now, we bring down, we carry like terms. Now, there's 6x squared plus 2x can be added to 6x to give us 8x plus what? 2. Now, let's find the other part. The other part is what? Minus, open bracket, 3x squared plus, minus, open bracket. This is where I'm copying it from here. Starting from the, always start from the minus, plus 2x minus what? 5, open bracket, times 1. You should know that times 1 means you're not changing anything. Minus 3x squared plus what? 2x minus 5. Since it's multiplying 1 doesn't change anything here, so you just leave it. So 1 minus times this is minus 3x 2. You're going to use minus and times everything. Minus plus is what? Minus 2x. Minus is what? Plus 5. Then you've gotten for these two parts. You add them together. 6x squared plus 8x plus what? 2. Now, this is minus, right? Minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. All over, open brackets, x plus 1 raised to power 2. And this is 6, we'll collect like terms, 6x squared minus 3x squared. 6x squared minus 3x squared is what? 3x squared. Now you say 8x, you look for something that looks like it has minus 2x. 8x minus 2x is what? Plus 6 what? X, because it's a positive number. Then 2 plus 5 is what? 7. All over x plus 1 raised to power 2. And this is your derivative. Long process, abi?